This Raw Vision video is brought to you by Metro Solar, proud partner of the Richmond Football Club.
Damien, given the logjam of teams on the ladder trying to snatch that spot in the 8 off you at the moment, it shapes as an important game, this one, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's an important game against a fantastic opposition, 9-2, coming off the bye, their home deck. It's going to be a tough task. We're certainly up for it. We feel we travel well. A reasonable record against the Swans over previous times we've played up there, so we're looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be a big one.
As big as the challenge against Fremantle, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think both sides play incredibly well in their home deck. The SCG, they play a little bit better than ANZ Stadium, and we haven't played there for probably 3 years, so it's going to be interesting to see. The length of the ground's obviously improved. It's a wide ground also, but it's going to be a great challenge.
What do you put down that great travelling record too? Is there some sort of secret you guys do that other clubs don't?
No, I just think there's sides that travel well. We've probably been reasonably consistent with regard to our win-loss, which certainly helps. And I think the big thing with us was our process stays the same. We just prepare, we fly late, train late, and basically play the next day. So, look, it works for us. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for other sides.
You look back at that round 23 game at all this week, or given their changes in personnel, again, it's a bit irrelevant?
Yeah, it was a little bit different. I suppose we take some confidence out of beating it, but they did have some personnel changes there, and we've got some personnel changes as well. So, look, even last year I think we played them around 13, round 14 I think it was at the MCG. I think it was about 4 or 5 points that we went down by at that game. So that's probably more similar to the style of game that you're probably going to see this time around.
Extent, you're right. Are there going to be the extra tall defensive reinforcements just with their strong forward power?
No, not for us. We're pretty happy with that. Probably the mistake sides make. Sydney not overly take a lot of marks inside 50. They're incredible at ground level, which is the one area. You even look at guys like Tippett and Franklin from a marking power point of view. They're reasonably consistent, but they're very dangerous at ground level also. So we just got to make sure we bring our A game. We get numbers back there to help those players to get the ball back out.
So David Asprey likely to come back through the VFL?
Yeah, well, he was injured. This is his first game back. He's been out for a couple of weeks through injury, but he just hasn't had a great run injury-wise thus far, so we'll make sure we get some consistency in his performance and his training.
Is there room at the SCG, Damien, for your 3 tall forwards in the same forward line?
Yeah, I think so. I think, as we've spoken about before, they're all different in the way they play. We're quite capable of playing Jack and Griff up the ground and Ty at various stages. They cover the ground well for those 3 bigger players. And the big thing about this, we've got to make sure we kick some goals at ground level also. We're probably disappointed with that facet of our game last week. We couldn't manufacture a goal, so to speak, especially in the second half. So that's something we'll be looking to rectify this week.
Chris Newman on the plane, nice to have him back in the lineup.
Yeah, we thought we'd up the average age of our squad by getting Chris on the side, but look, we know what an important player he is to us. He provides consistency in performance, and he's an experienced head. So look, we're looking forward to welcoming him back in the side. We've still got a training session to get through, so we'll just see how that goes after today.
His form in the VFL, I suppose, wasn't amazing last week. Is it something you just look at him and go, it's Chris Newman, we know we're going to get a great game out of him?
Yeah, probably. I think his consistency of performance over a long period of time has certainly helped us from that point of view. But look, overall we've got some guys that are in reasonable form, and Chris is one of those. So we've got a number of players we can bring in from the VFL this week.
The re-signing of Alex France, I mean, how significant is that for your footy club, given as he admitted there was a chance he was going to walk away?
Yeah, it is exciting. We were always reasonably confident it was either going to be us or no one else from that point of view, but we're just really excited that he saw the light from our point of view, and he's an incredible player. He's in All-Australian form once again, so it would have been really sad, not only for Richmond but AFL in general, if he had walked away. So look, it's pleasing. We've just got to make sure he continues to play really well for us.
He's got a different approach to footy. Is that something that, as a coach, that you've had to get your head around? I mean, he says he walks away from the club and then he switches off and all these sort of things. Does that take a while for a coach to appreciate that approach to it, I guess?
There's probably a lot of players remarkably quite similar in that attitude, especially the guys that are pretty high profile, because it's a pretty full-on environment, the AFL system, as we know. There's media, there's social media, there's a lot of meetings, there's spent a lot of time at the footy club, and players like to go away and spend some time with their family, so we can understand that. Each player is different, and we embrace that.
Give him the job on Buddy?
Sorry?
Give France the job on Buddy?
Yeah, he's played on him before. He's done a reasonable job over the course of time, but that's not to say it's going to pan out this way. This time he's kicked 2 bags of 6 or 7 in the last couple of games, so he's in pretty good form, the bud.
Did you ever imagine that Jack Riel could play as much up the ground as he is at the moment?
Look, I've been trying to get it into his game probably for a period of time. The fact of the matter is we probably need him to play deeper at stages because he's been a lone hand up forward, but with the inclusion of Griffiths and Vickery, you know, kicking goals. I think Ty kicked 3 last week, Griff maybe 1 or 2. It's allowed us to get him up the ground. He's an incredibly smart player. His ability to use the ball and find options inside 50 is probably a little bit understated at various stages, but for us, we're really happy he's got that. Yeah, he can still go deep and kick goals for us, but he's got the flexibility of playing up the ground also.
Immediately after last week, you mentioned it. You thought it might be a blip on the radar. Did you review? Bring that to the point.
The game last week. Yeah, look, we were disappointed with the way we played. You know, I think the first 10 minutes was indicative of the overall game. We probably played a 6 out of 10 game, and you know, this day and age with AFL footy, you're not going to win playing that. You know, we made some goal line errors. We gave them 3 goals from the goal square effectively, and that's a difference in the game. Probably lost some 50-50 contests we thought we should have won, and you know, unfortunately the scoreboard goes the other way, so scoreboard pressure comes on us, and we just weren't able to probably get the 2 or 3 goals in a row that we needed to wrestle that back. So we were disappointed. We'll look to rectify this week.
Do you think you've still got a bit to prove in terms of how good you are this season?
Oh, I think we've got a lot of improvement in this, there's no doubt about that. I think you look at the majority of our players, they're playing okay, but we think they can play a lot better, and I think as a team we can play a lot better. We're probably starting to get some consistency in our team selection, which has been, you know, probably missing. I think early parts of the year we're having 4 to 5 changes. You know, the last couple of weeks we've only had 1 or 2 at most, so that's probably one thing. The side will start to play together, they'll understand how each other play a little bit more, and the consistency will start to improve as a result.
Do you have any thoughts on the players that we claim for the biggest slice of the pie in the next
Yeah, I think they're one and behind the coaches with that slice of pie. Oh, listen, I leave that up to the AFL and our executive committee. They'll make the informed decisions. Look, the players deserve to get paid. There's no doubt about that. They put on a fantastic show for us, but there's also a lot of room for, you know, further developments within AFL. I think we've got to get more money into grassroots footy. That's where the future lies with this great game, and we've got to make sure that everyone gets an even dividend from that.
Thanks, guys.